Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are fine. If you are new here, my name is Akidaru Finovi and today we will discuss about determination of lease. In this video, we will discuss what is determination of lease. Then we will give an example of lease. Then on the basis of that example, we will explain the ways by which a lease can be determined. So first, what is determination of lease? Determination of lease means termination or end of the lease agreement between lessor and lessee. And now we will give an example of lease agreement. If Mr. Sakib gives his home in rent to Mr. Tamim for 5 years, it may be monthly basis or it may be yearly basis, then this will be a lease. So on the basis of this lease agreement, we will explain the ways by which a lease can be determined. In order to know the ways, we need to go to section 311 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882. If we go through section 311 of the Transfer of Property Act, we will find 7 ways by which a lease can be determined. We will explain those 7 ways on the basis of the example which we have already given. So the first way is by lapse of time. Here in the example, the lease agreement was for the 5 years between Sakib and Tamim. If 5 years elapse, then their lease agreement will automatically be terminated. Then the next way is by happening of a specified event. If in the lease agreement Sakib mentioned an event on the basis of which lease will be terminated in future, then on the happening of that particular event, then the lease agreement will be terminated. If Sakib said, if my family in future come from abroad, then this lease between us will be terminated. If these kinds of stipulation is given in the lease agreement, then the lease agreement will be terminated on the coming of the family of the Sakibs, then the lease will automatically terminated. Then the third way is termination of lessor's interest. If lessor himself has a limited interest in the home or land, and after that limited estate is terminated, then the lease agreement will also be terminated. What is the limited interest and what is the absolute interest, this matter we will discuss in future. Then the fourth way lease can be determined is merger. If lessee becomes the lessor, then the lease will be determined. For example, if Sakib sell his land to the Tamim, then Tamim, who is the lessee, automatically will become the owner of the land. So now his interest is upgraded to the lessor. He is both lessor and lessee, and his interest and this lease will be determined. Then the fifth way a lease can be terminated is express surrender. Express surrender is when the lease is determined by an agreement between lessor and lessee. Then this will be said that the lease is determined by an express surrender. Here delivery of possession is also necessary. Only by agreement, if the lease is determined, then it will not be enough. Then the sixth way a lease can be determined is implied surrender. If lessee by delivery of possession terminate the lease, then it will be said that there is an implied surrender and the lease will be determined. Then the seventh way a lease can be determined is the forfeiture. Forfeiture is when the lease is determined by the fault of the lessee, then it will be said that there is a forfeiture of the lease. In three ways forfeiture can be happened. The ways are such as breach of an express condition, then denials of landlord titles, then insolvency of the lessee. Breach of an express condition, if we discuss about breach of an express condition, if Saqib gives a condition which Tamim needs to be followed, but Tamim breached that, then the lease will be terminated or determined and it will be said that there is a forfeiture of the lease. If Tamim denied the Saqib's titles and said himself or some third person that third person or himself is the owner of that particular property, then it will be said that there is a denials of lessor's title and the lease will be forfeited. And the last way a lease can be determined by forfeiture is the insolvency of the lessee. If the lessee become insolvent, then the lease will be determined. But there is a condition here. The condition is it needs to be mentioned in the lease agreement that on the insolvency of the lessee that lease will be determined. If there is an stipulation, then on the basis of insolvency of the lessee the lease can be determined. So these are the 7 ways by which a lease can be determined. This 7 way is enumerated in section 311 of the Transfer of Property Act. If we go through that section, we will find this 7th ways. Thanks for watching this video.